So now we are going to understand the basics of Agile process. Okay, so for starting this Agile process, we are trying to understand the assumptions behind this Agile process, right? So you can understand that in majority of software projects, it is difficult to predict in advance about the software requirements. Okay, whether this software requirement will persist or this software requirement will change. So also it is equally difficult to predict how customer priorities will change as the project proceeds. Priorities about the requirements, that these are the certain features and functionalities, and the customers will give some priority that these are the functionalities which are more important and this will be delivered. So these priorities may also change. We also don't know whether it will remain as it is or it will change. Also, it is difficult to predict how much design is necessary before construction. Okay, we understand that in many types of software, design and construction are interleaved. They all are being done together. Okay, why they are doing together? Because we try to understand with the design models and take a proof that yes, this design model will work and look like this, and whether it is correct or not. So in waterfall model, what we are doing means earlier models, what we were doing in conventional, we were doing the necessary design and then we were going for construction. Here what we are doing, we will do certain design and fast design. Later on we will see, we will do fast design, few design and perform the construction. We will try to make a prototype and make this prototype available to this customer. So here we are talking about assumptions, where we understand that let us assume that it is difficult to predict how much design is necessary. In certain software, if it is very clear how much design is necessary, in that case Agile process may not be that much required. But however, in certain cases, in certain projects, we may not be able to predict how much design is necessary, okay, before construction. So in those cases we will use the Agile process. Also you have to understand that analysis, design, construction and testing are not as predictable. Okay, as predictable as those as it looks like while planning, what happens, we will have to predict how much effort will be needed in analysis, design, construction and testing. So in beginning it looks like these are the things that we can calculate. However, in certain projects we were not able to calculate those things. So in that cases Agile processes are very much helpful. So with these assumptions, the question is, how do we create a process that can manage unpredictability? Everything is unpredicted here. So we will have to take care how to deal with this unpredictability. We are not able to predict these few things that we have seen. So actually we have not to predict, we have to adapt. Okay. When we think about unpredictability, we understand that there are certain things which are uncertain. Which are uncertain? Like the changes might occur, that we don't know how much design is necessary, we don't know the exact timeline for system design, construction or testing. So these all are unpredicted. In this unpredicted environment, what we can do is adapt. We can adapt according to the need. Now let me tell you, we are ready to adapt now. Now whenever the change comes, whenever something happens, we leave the earlier version and now start working on the new thing. So in this way the change requests keep on coming and we keep on adapting. So in that case, how much accomplishment will be done, how much work product we will be able to develop. So we have to understand that our adaptability should be in a proper fashion. Here in Agile process, we adapt incrementally. Okay, adapt incrementally. What does it mean? We try to develop a prototype. Okay, we develop this prototype and give this prototype to the customer, or I should say collaborate with the customer and try to find out the feedback of the customer. Okay, here an Agile team requires customer feedback. So we try to fastly make a prototype. Okay, prototype will be your first increment. Suppose this increment will be an executable prototype. Okay, so which will have certain features and functions which will give a customer a look that yes, it is working. So seeing these features, this customer can definitely give some feedback. On the basis of these feedback, you can develop, add the new features or modify the existing features in the next prototype, next increment. So you adapt incrementally. Whatever the change requests are coming, these requests will be managed in the next increment. So you develop a operational prototype, you give it to the customer. With the customer you collaborate and find out what is the shortcomings, and then you adapt those things in the next increment. This is what we do in Agile process. Okay, so keeping these things in mind, if I tell you about agility principles, this is something that we are going to see next, about agility principles. Let us see this principle in next recording. Thank you.